Have you ever dreamed of exploring new lands, feeling the cool ocean breeze, or walking down ancient streets filled with history? But then you pause and wonder, at this age, are those dreams still within reach, traveling after 70? It sounds like an inspiring journey, but behind it lies challenges that not everyone anticipates. Imagine sitting on a long flight, exhaustion creeping in, and then suddenly a sharp chest pain strikes. Or picture yourself strolling down a cobblestone street only to realize that one misstep could change your life forever. Stories like these aren't just hypothetical. They've happened to many, turning the dream of travel into a nightmare. In today's video, we'll uncover the untold truths about traveling after 70, from unexpected health risks and unforeseen exhaustion to financial traps that could leave you empty-handed. We'll reveal it all. But don't worry. We'll also share how you can prepare yourself to ensure every trip is not only safe, but also filled with joy. Stay with us until the end, because the final reason we'll discuss might surprise you. It's something many people never think about, yet it's the very thing that causes them to lose money, time, and peace of mind. Are you ready? Let's begin this journey together. Welcome to Old Gold Friend. Before we begin, I'm really curious to know where in the world you are watching from. Leave a comment below. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm always ready to answer. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to update the most useful health tips right away. With Old Gold Friend, taking care of your health has never been easier. Health risks and medical emergencies, a hidden danger of traveling. After 70, picture this: you're on the trip of a lifetime, a long-awaited vacation to celebrate your golden years. The excitement of exploring new places fills your heart, and you feel ready to take on the world. But then out of nowhere, your body betrays you. A sharp pain in your chest, a sudden shortness of breath, or a dizzy spell leaves you helpless in an unfamiliar place. What was supposed to be a dream vacation quickly spirals into a terrifying ordeal. As we age, our bodies become less predictable. Conditions like heart disease, high blood pressure, and respiratory issues, which may seem manageable at home, can escalate into life-threatening emergencies when you're far from your regular doctor. Long flights increase the risk of blood clots. High altitudes strain the heart and lungs, and even something as simple as dehydration can hit much harder in a foreign climate. For seniors, these risks aren't just theoretical, they're very real. Take the story of John, a 74-year-old retiree from Florida. He and his wife had planned a relaxing cruise to the Caribbean, thinking it would be a low-stress way to see the world. But on the fourth day of the trip, John began experiencing severe chest pain. The ship's medical staff did their best to stabilize him, but it was clear he needed a hospital immediately. Unfortunately, they were in the middle of the ocean, hours away from the nearest port. By the time John was evacuated and received proper treatment, the delay had put his life in serious danger. He survived, but the experience left him shaken and with a hefty medical bill that his insurance didn't fully cover. This isn't an isolated case. Many seniors assume their regular health insurance will cover them wherever they go, only to discover too late that it doesn't apply abroad. Without comprehensive travel insurance, even a minor health issue can lead to massive out-of-pocket expenses. Emergency surgeries, hospital stays, or even basic medications can cost thousands of dollars, leaving travelers financially and emotionally drained. And it's not just major emergencies that pose a threat. Long flights can lead to deep vein thrombosis, DVT, a condition where blood clots form in the legs due to prolonged sitting. High altitudes can exacerbate pre-existing heart or lung conditions, and exposure to unfamiliar bacteria and viruses can result in unexpected illnesses. For example, Mary, a 72-year-old from California, developed a severe respiratory infection after a trip to a crowded European city. What started as a mild cough turned into pneumonia, requiring hospitalization in a foreign country where she didn't speak the language. The stress of navigating the healthcare system, combined with the financial burden, turned her vacation into a nightmare. So what can you do to protect yourself if you're over 70 and still want to travel? Preparation is key. Start by consulting your doctor for a full health assessment before your trip. Discuss any potential risks and ensure you have all necessary medications with you. Research the healthcare system at your destination and invest in comprehensive travel insurance that covers medical emergencies, hospital stays, and emergency evacuations. Because when it comes to your health, being prepared can mean the difference between a smooth trip and a disaster. Don't let the dream of travel turn into a nightmare. Plan wisely and you can still enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Increased risk of infections and contaminants, the invisible threat of traveling. After 70, imagine this. You've just landed in a bustling city ready to immerse yourself in its vibrant culture. The streets are alive with energy. The aroma of local cuisine fills the air, and you can't wait to try everything. But as you navigate crowded airports, packed airplanes, and unfamiliar restaurants, you unknowingly expose yourself to an invisible enemy. Germs, bacteria, and viruses that could turn your dream vacation into a health crisis. For younger travelers, a minor cold or stomach bug might be a temporary inconvenience. But for seniors, these infections can lead to severe complications, prolonged hospitalizations, or even long-term health setbacks. The reality is, as we age, our immune systems naturally weaken, making it harder to fight off illnesses. A single trip can expose an older adult to more germs and bacteria than they would typically encounter in months at home. Take the story of Susan, a 73-year-old from Texas who had always dreamed of visiting New York City. She was thrilled to explore the iconic landmarks and try the famous street food. But after just a few days of navigating crowded subways and eating at unfamiliar restaurants, she developed a severe case of food poisoning. What started as mild stomach discomfort quickly escalated into dehydration and a hospital visit. The culprit, a salad washed in tap water that her body wasn't accustomed to. Susan spent the rest of her trip recovering in her hotel room, missing out on the experiences she had planned for years. Airplanes in particular are breeding grounds for germs. Passengers are packed closely together, breathing in recycled air for hours at a time. Studies have shown that seniors are more likely to develop complications from respiratory illnesses like the flu, pneumonia, or even a common cold, especially when exposed to new strains in different parts of the world. For example, Robert, a 75-year-old from Chicago, caught a respiratory infection after a long-haul flight to Europe. The recycled air and close proximity to other passengers left him vulnerable, and what started as a mild cough turned into bronchitis, requiring medical attention abroad. And it's not just the air you breathe, it's the surfaces you touch. Public restrooms, hotel rooms, rental cars, and even tray tables on airplanes can harbor harmful bacteria. Many seniors rely on mobility aids like canes or walkers, which means they frequently touch public surfaces for balance, increasing their risk of exposure. Then there's the issue of food and water safety. While trying new foods is one of the joys of travel, unfamiliar ingredients, spices, and cooking methods can wreak havoc on a senior's digestive system. Foodborne illnesses like norovirus E. coli and salmonella can hit older adults much harder, leading to prolonged illness and a severely weakened immune system. Even something as simple as drinking tap water or eating a piece of fruit washed in local water can lead to serious stomach infections. So how can seniors protect themselves from these invisible threats? Taking extra precautions is essential. Wear a mask in crowded areas, wash your hands frequently, and carry hand sanitizer at all times. Only drink bottled or filtered water, avoid raw foods in unfamiliar places, and stick to well-cooked meals. If you're traveling internationally, consult your doctor about recommended vaccines and pack essential medications for stomach issues or respiratory infections. Traveling after 70 is still possible, but it requires vigilance and preparation. By taking these steps, you can reduce your risk of infections and enjoy your trip without unnecessary health setbacks. Because when it comes to your health, prevention is always better than cure. Don't let an invisible enemy ruin your adventure. Stay safe, stay healthy, and make the most of your journey. Travel fatigue and recovery challenges. When the journey becomes the struggle, imagine this. You've been planning your dream vacation for months, maybe even years. The excitement of exploring a new destination keeps you energized as you pack your bags. But as the journey begins, the reality of long flights, early check-ins, and endless walking starts to take its toll. By the time you arrive, you're not filled with joy and anticipation. You're utterly exhausted. And the worst part, that exhaustion doesn't go away. It lingers, turning what should be a rejuvenating trip into a draining ordeal. For seniors over 70, travel fatigue is more than just feeling tired. It's a physical and mental strain that can take days, even weeks to recover from. Unlike in younger years when a good night's sleep could recharge the body, older adults often find that fatigue lingers, affecting their immune system coordination and overall well-being. Take the story of Richard, a 75-year-old retiree from Ohio. He and his wife had always loved traveling, so they decided to take a 10-day trip to California to visit family and explore the state's famous landmarks. But after a 6-hour flight navigating a crowded airport, and adjusting to a 3-hour time difference, Richard felt completely drained. By the second day, he struggled to keep up with the itinerary. Walking long distances left him with swollen joints, and he found himself needing frequent breaks just to catch his breath. By the time he started to adjust, the trip was nearly over, and he spent the following weeks recovering at home instead of enjoying the memories he had hoped to create. One of the biggest culprits of travel fatigue is disrupted sleep. Sleeping in an unfamiliar bed, dealing with noisy hotels, or adjusting to different time zones can make it nearly impossible to get proper rest. For seniors, sleep deprivation isn't just about feeling groggy. It can weaken the immune system, impair mental sharpness, and even increase the risk of heart problems. Studies show that seniors who travel across multiple time zones often take much longer to recover from jet lag, leaving them feeling out of sync for the majority of their trip. Then there's the physical strain of travel itself. Sitting for long periods on a plane, bus, or train can lead to stiff muscles, swollen joints, and an increased risk of blood clots, especially for those with arthritis or circulation issues. Even once you arrive at your destination, the demands of sightseeing, carrying luggage, and keeping up with scheduled activities can quickly become overwhelming. What starts as an exciting vacation can turn into a struggle just to keep up. Consider the story of Margaret, a 72-year-old from New York who had always dreamed of visiting the Grand Canyon. She booked a guided tour thinking it would be a relaxing way to see the sights. But the long bus rides, early wake-up calls, and hours of walking left her feeling completely drained. By the third day, she had to skip several activities just to rest, and by the end of the trip, she admitted she felt worse than when she started. What was supposed to be a bucket list adventure turned into a lesson in the limits of her endurance. Another overlooked factor is hydration and diet. Many seniors forget to drink enough water while traveling, leading to dehydration, which can cause dizziness, fatigue, and confusion. Unfamiliar foods can also upset the digestive system, adding to the physical discomfort. Combined with poor sleep and the physical demands of travel, it's easy to see why many seniors feel worse after a trip rather than refreshed. So how can seniors avoid the pitfalls of travel? Fatigue. The key is to plan smarter, not harder. Build plenty of rest days into your itinerary. Stay hydrated and avoid overloading your schedule with back-to-back activities. Take shorter flights with layovers to stretch your legs. Pack a nutritious snacks, and make time for naps. Most importantly, recognize your personal limits and adjust your travel plans accordingly, because a vacation should be about enjoyment, not exhaustion. By pacing yourself and prioritizing rest, you can still experience the joy of travel without sacrificing your health and well-being. After all, the journey should leave you with cherished memories, not weeks of recovery. The risk of falls and injuries when one misstep changes everything. Picture this: you're walking through a charming historic town, the cobblestone streets glistening under the soft glow of streetlights. The air is filled with the sounds of laughter and music, and you feel a sense of wonder as you take in the beauty around you. But then in an instant, your foot catches on an uneven stone and you lose your balance. The world tilts, and before you know it, you're on the ground, pain shooting through your body. What was supposed to be a magical evening has turned into a nightmare. For seniors over 70, the risk of falls and injuries while traveling is a very real and often underestimated danger. As we age, our balance reflexes and bone density naturally decline, making us more vulnerable to accidents. A minor stumble at home might result in a bruise, but a fall in an unfamiliar place can lead to broken bones, lengthy hospital stays, or even permanent mobility issues. And the reality is, a single fall can change the course of a senior's life, turning a dream vacation into a painful and costly ordeal. Take the story of Linda, a 78-year-old from Michigan who had always dreamed of visiting the historic streets of Charleston, South Carolina. She was in great shape for her age, walking regularly in her neighborhood without any problems. But when she arrived in Charleston, the uneven cobblestone streets and dimly lit alleys proved to be more challenging than she had anticipated. One evening, as she stepped off a curb, she lost her footing and fell hard, breaking her hip. She was rushed to a local hospital where doctors informed her she needed surgery. Not only did she have to cut her trip short, but she also spent months in recovery after returning home. What was meant to be the trip of a lifetime became an experience she wished she had never taken. The environments seniors encounter while traveling are often far more hazardous than they expect. Hotels, cruise ships, and tourist attractions may have uneven floors, poorly lit staircases, or slippery surfaces that increase the likelihood of falls. Some destinations lack accessibility accommodations altogether, making simple activities like stepping onto a bus or navigating a historic site unexpectedly dangerous. And in many places, emergency medical services aren't as fast or advanced as they are back home, meaning even a minor injury can take longer to treat, increasing the risk of complications. Fatigue is another major factor that contributes to falls. Traveling often involves long days, irregular meal schedules, and disrupted sleep patterns, all of which can affect balance and coordination. When the body is tired, reaction times slow down, making a misstep or stumble more likely. For seniors with arthritis or joint pain, the physical demands of walking through airports, train stations, or tourist sites can cause swelling and discomfort, further increasing the risk of a sudden loss of stability. Consider the story of George, a 76-year-old from Arizona who had always loved hiking. He planned a trip to the Great Smoky Mountains, confident that he could handle the trails as he had in his younger years. But after a long day of travel and little rest, George found himself struggling to navigate the uneven terrain. On the second day of his trip, he tripped over a tree root and fell, spraining his ankle. The injury forced him to cut his trip short, and he later admitted that he had underestimated how much his body had changed with age. So how can seniors reduce the risk of falls and injuries while traveling? The key is preparation and caution. Choose destinations with good accessibility and avoid high-risk areas with uneven terrain. Always wear proper footwear with good support and grip, and consider using walking sticks or canes for added stability. Plan your days with plenty of rest breaks to avoid fatigue and stay well hydrated to maintain your energy and coordination. Above all, recognize your personal limitations and adjust your travel plans accordingly, because no trip is worth sacrificing your long-term mobility and independence. By taking these precautions, you can enjoy the adventure of travel without the fear of a single misstep changing everything. After all, the best journeys are the ones that leave you with memories, not injuries. Travel insurance and financial risks when a dream vacation becomes a costly nightmare. Imagine this. You've spent months planning the perfect getaway. The flights are booked, the hotel is reserved, and your itinerary is packed with exciting activities. You feel confident knowing you've budgeted carefully for every part of the trip. But then the unexpected happens, a sudden health emergency, a canceled flight, or worse, a scam that leaves you stranded. In the blink of an eye, your dream vacation turns into a financial disaster, draining your savings and leaving you overwhelmed. For seniors over 70, the financial risks of traveling are often underestimated. Many assume that their regular health insurance will cover them wherever they go, or that nothing will go wrong. But the reality is far more complicated. From medical emergencies abroad to trip cancellations and even scams, the financial pitfalls of travel can be devastating if you are not prepared. Take the story of George, a 76-year-old retiree from Florida. He had always dreamed of visiting Hawaii, so he carefully saved up for the trip, booking a beautiful beachfront hotel and a series of guided tours. But just 2 days before his departure, George developed a severe respiratory infection and was advised by his doctor not to travel. When he tried to cancel his trip, he was shocked to learn that the airline and hotel had strict no-refund policies for last-minute cancellations. Without travel insurance, George lost thousands of dollars and his dream vacation never happened. Medical emergencies abroad are another major financial risk. Many seniors don't realize that their regular health insurance often doesn't cover treatment in foreign countries. Emergency medical care hospital stays and even basic medications can result in massive out-of-pocket expenses. And if you need to be airlifted to a proper hospital or back home, the cost can skyrocket to tens of thousands of dollars. Consider the case of Mary, a 74-year-old from California, who was on a cruise to Alaska when she suffered a heart attack. The ship's medical team stabilized her, but she needed to be evacuated to a hospital on land for further treatment. The emergency evacuation alone cost $25,000, and her regular health insurance didn't cover a single penny. Without comprehensive travel insurance, Mary was left to pay the bill out of pocket, turning her relaxing cruise into a financial nightmare. Beyond medical costs, seniors are also at risk of falling victim to scams while traveling. Criminals often target older adults knowing they may be less familiar with their surroundings or more trusting of strangers. Fake taxi services, overpriced goods, and elaborate credit card scams are just a few of the tactics used to exploit travelers. Take the story of Susan, the 72-year-old from New York who booked a luxury vacation package she found online. The deal seemed too good to be true, and it was. When she arrived at her destination, she discovered that the hotel didn't exist and the tour company had vanished with her money. Stranded in a foreign country, Susan had to scramble to find accommodations, spending far more than she had budgeted just to salvage her trip. So how can seniors protect themselves from these financial risks? The answer lies in preparation and caution. First, always check if your health insurance covers international travel. If it doesn't, invest in a comprehensive travel insurance plan that includes medical emergencies, trip cancellations, and emergency evacuations. Second, when booking trips, only use reputable companies and avoid deals that seem too good to be true. Finally, be extra cautious with your money while traveling. Avoid carrying large amounts of cash. Use credit cards with fraud protection and never share personal financial details with strangers. Traveling after 70 can still be a rewarding experience, but it requires extra vigilance to avoid financial pitfalls. By taking the right precautions, you can protect your savings and enjoy your trip with peace of mind, because a vacation should leave you with cherished memories, not overwhelming bills or regrets. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps us bring you more valuable content. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think, what questions you have, or what topics you would like us to cover next. We love hearing from you. Of course, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest health tips. Stay informed, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.